everyone, my name is Kendra, you're watching Pink Bubbles, welcome back, and today we are doing an updated all of my dolls video. So it has been a long time since I've done one of these, and true to form, everyone's got different names now, there's a few new faces, some people have gotten wigs swapped, there's been lots of change happening within the crew. And considering that I am about to be doing a show with these guys as themselves, more about that later on in the video, I figured now would be a good time to do some small introductions and to get you guys updated on where we're at so you're not completely lost. So without further ado, let's get started. So my first doll is a My American Girl number 53. Her name is Erin Amanda Lindstrom, and I got her in July of 2013. So one fall day while my grandmother was visiting, I went and got the mail and I came back with this catalog. And I was very confused because I'd never seen one before, but I kind of knew some of these characters. I would later realize that I grew up reading the books and had no idea whatsoever. But my grandmother went through it and some of my older cousins had dolls. And so, of course, I got all excited because, well, my cousins approve. And they're adorable, and they're like Barbie but better. I went in. So, pretty much from then on, I really wanted a doll. It took a little bit, but that summer when we were visiting family, you know, near an AG store, we stopped inside and it was like this whole big ordeal. Some of my extended family was there. It was like this whole thing. And I was able to pick out my first American Girl doll. And I didn't really hesitate in my memory. Maybe I did. But I kind of just went and grabbed my lookalike. In hindsight, it's kind of a funny choice because that was the same year as Sage, which is a girl theater I absolutely adore and would love to have in my collection someday, along with like 4 best friends archiving, all of whom I very much want in my collection. Because that was the summer they archived Ivy, Marty Grace, Cecile, and Ruthie. So... decisions were made, but I stand by my choice because honestly this doll is just super underrated and everyone needs one of her in their collection, even if you have a Julie. I don't care, they can be sisters, they're both adorable. Since all of my dolls have personalities, I'm going to tell you their personalities. Hers is that she is like an anxious college student. She's very intelligent, very determined, but very, you know, anxious all the time. And she kind of has the role within the crew as the head of the house, which basically means she's everyone's big sister. She is the one that makes sure that, you know, everything kind of doesn't fall apart, but she's not really micromanaging and she's not the manager of everyone. She just, you know, settles disputes. The second doll in my collection is the one, the only, Queen Arista. Her full name is Arista Iris York, and she is a Girl of the Year 2014 Isabel doll. I got her in July of 2014, and I don't really remember the story behind her. I just know that I really wanted her, and I saved up this money to get her. Once again, I did buy her from the store, of course. She was my favorite doll in my collection for the longest time. When I was competing in Miss AG2 pageant, she was the doll I was using, and I have just kind of given her some of my favorite roles over the years. She's maybe gotten a little more love than Erin has, and considering that she is known as the Queen, you can maybe see why. My best story with her is that her head is actually not an Isabel head, but originally a Caroline head, which really doesn't matter because they're both, you know, light-skinned classic molds. But the ordeal I went through to head swap these guys for no actual good reason is ridiculous. And I don't even remember the thought process behind it other than I knew her face wasn't looking that great and my Caroline's was, and I wanted her to have the better face. Isn't there a movie on this? Anyways, her role within the crew is as the local celebrity who wants to go big and famous in Hollywood. And so she's trying to build her career, and that is what she's been off doing. And now she's back and she kind of just causes drama for everyone and vlogs it. Doll number 3 is a Be Forever Caroline Abbott that I got in June of 2015. Her name is Laureline Cabot. This poor thing has been through a lot. So if you saw one of my latest videos, you'll know that her wig went through so much, and I ultimately ended up replacing it. And before that, I have a video a while back of me opening her up from the doll hospital because she was the other half of that face swap I just mentioned with Arista, and it did not go well for her like it did for Arista because I was not capable of really doing it at that point in time. But she is gorgeous, and I did end up getting her the summer that she archived. I planned on getting a different doll. My plans ended up changing when American Girl announced that she was archiving, of course, and I ended up getting her instead. Within the crew, she is the method actress, who sometimes takes it a step too far. She loves her craft, but she's young and doesn't always know what she's doing with it. So that can cause some problems, some rifts between crew members, of course. So doll number 4 is Truly Me number 61. I got her in November of 2015. Her name is Laureline and Dalia Somerset. She too has kind of been through a lot. Last time you saw her, she had a different wig. I called her Peter. She was a boy. This wig was in tiny little curls that have unfortunately dried it out a little bit, on a different doll, and I called that doll Merida because she looked like Merida from Brave. Since then I've decided I actually like her better as she came. I now think that she is such a gorgeous darling, and she's actually the first doll that I got after starting this channel. Within the crew, she is kind of the confidant. She is the quiet type. She's studying botany and loves plants, of course, and she's constantly tired of these, other dolls because they're just crazies. She's surrounded by crazies. So doll number 5 is my first custom doll, and the first doll that I did not buy directly from American Girl. His name is Dane Miles Zimmerman, and I got him, I completed him in March of 2016, but I know I got his base a lot earlier. He was a very good deal on eBay as an old Kirsten doll. What I do know is that, boy, is he kind of an old doll. He has an eye that doesn't close properly. Both eyes are starting to turn silver, particularly the one that doesn't close properly, which you guys will be seeing on the left, I believe. His vinyl is super pasty. It's almost like paper white, and he has almost no coloring left except for his eyebrows. And his body is a little discolored with age and a little musty. He is a mess. He's got some nail polish on his fingernails, and oh my goodness, this boy has been through a lot. And you might remember from the last time that I did one of these that I believe he was a Merida custom doll, but I have since decided to give him his own wig back. This wig used to be Auburn, and his name used to be Jonathan, and he's had several other names over the years, but he is Dane, and that's how it's gonna stay. I did dye this wig black using Sharpie. I think he's very cute with it. I think it's a better color for him than the other one. His role within the crew is that of a script writer. He kind of helps out with that, canonically speaking, and he does some of his own writing in the background. And on top of that, he is just a general handyman. He helps build sets if they need someone to do that. If something breaks, he'll fix it, that sort of thing. And I kind of like him as my vampire boy. He's gloomy, he's, alternative. He's not like other people, he's not like other dolls, and he's kind of sarcastic. So doll number 6 is a historical Samantha Parkington that I got in October of 2016. Her name is Cassidy Lulu Parkington. However, I often call her Cassie. Cassie, they're interchangeable. You're welcome to call her whatever you'd like. And she is absolutely adorable. She was such an amazing deal. once again on eBay, because this was after Samantha archived. And I truly think Samantha is an underrated doll. She's adorable. I do believe that she, like Dane and like Romilly, has a video up on this channel where I open her, give my thoughts, and for her, I believe she does get a bit of a fixing up and some cleaning. I mean, you can see her hair is a bit short for a Samantha doll, and that is because her last owner completely wrecked the ends of her hair. Within the crew, she is kind of the detective type, kind of nosy, always needs to know everyone else's business, and if a mystery comes up, which hint hint it does, she is the one to be solving it and to be getting in the middle of it. She is very kind but also has a lot of energy. And naturally she's studying criminology and is obsessed with true crime. Doll number 7 is yet another doll that I got off of eBay. He is a custom boy doll with a kit base, historical kit base, that I got in November of 2016. His full name is Graham Wyatt Hepburn. He too has a video on this channel. He once again was a spectacular deal. I got a kit doll with the full meat outfit and a couple extra outfits, and one of two of what I might say are my best finds. And he really hasn't changed much since I got him and, you know, picked out a wig and everything. So he is kind of the level-headed, organized one of the group. He acts as a manager, so he's the one that balances out Erin and is a manager for everyone else, make sure that things actually do get done, and kind of employs the others to be a little more in your face about it. But on top of this, he is also a photographer, so he, you know, likes taking pictures, and he likes having certain dolls as his models. He may be harboring a little crush. But doll number 8 is actually the last doll that I have bought directly from American Girl. She is the Girl of the Year 2016 Leah Clark doll that I got in December of 2016 for Christmas. And her full name, stick with me, it's a bit of a mouthful, is Maria Sequoia Melora Espinosa Clark. And she comes from a multicultural background, if you can't tell. I love her. She's gorgeous. She's great. She's shown up in a few of my projects, and she doesn't really have a great story. I do know that I went to the American Girl store to pick her out with a friend of mine and her mom, and as well as my mom, because my parents wanted to make sure that I got the best doll that I wanted, that I had not only the doll that I wanted, but a good looking doll that I wanted, because by that point they knew that there could be a difference. Within the crew, she is a local artist. She is the artiste of the group. Kind of artsy, kind of musical, kind-hearted. She was in a band. She's got a past. It's a thing. Doll number 9 is yet another custom boy doll, and my last custom boy doll at the moment. His name is Jesse Alexander Greer, and I got him in March of 2017. He has a Just Like You number 24 base. Like the others, he does have his own video. There's not much of a story behind him other than he kind of marks the first of the dolls that didn't get a lot of screen time because I had my series mostly filmed before he joined the crew and joined us. But I do think he's adorable, and I'm looking forward to using him a lot more moving forwards. He is a little taller than the other dolls because he's got this weird like mid-2000s body type that another doll of mine does have. He is kind of the jock party boy, very athletic, very competitive, but also very loyal, and he likes to help coach youth sports, so he does have a heart. So doll number 10 is a Grace Thomas doll from 2015 when she was Girl of the Year, and I call her Bexley Ruth Thomas, otherwise known as Bex, and I got her in May of 2018 through, I believe, Next Door or something like that. Not entirely sure. My father found her in another doll that I ended up buying both of them and keeping both of them. So in 2015, when she was Girl of the Year, I got Laureline because Caroline dolls were archiving that year, and then I'm really not sure why I got Romilly. I'm glad I did but I don't know what my thought process was there. Could not tell you. However, my Bex is quite the traveler. She's an explorer type. She always needs to get into something, do something. Will probably fight you, honestly. She is bold, uncompromising, but she's also honest. So doll number 11 is a Just Like You number 35 that I also got in May of 2018 alongside Bex. But since I decided to keep her later on, I call her my 11th doll and not my 10th doll, even though they're technically interchangeable. Her name is Augustine Lena Greer, and she is the younger sister of Jessie. The idea was when I got these dolls that I would keep the Grace doll and fix up the other doll to resell down the road. However, it turns out that she's my lookalike now, not Erin, but Augustine is, and I fell absolutely in love with her. And I have used her for a few things. I've used her for a photo shoot competition. I have used her actually pretty much just for that. And she is also featured in that same video with Bex. She is actually one of my few high school aged dolls, and she is a cheerleader and very good at it, very good at getting in drama. All these things. She's very immature, she's kind of fickle, she doesn't really have things figured out, but who really does, honestly? And she means well. So doll number 12, you may not know. So I got her a little while after I stopped making videos. She is a Just Like You number 29 that I got in November of 2018. Her name is Tatum Anna Fernandez, but she goes by Tate. So I got her from a good friend of mine who was getting rid of some of her old doll stuff and was like, hey, do you want this? And so she just gifted her to me alongside Penny the horse and some clothes, which was very, very sweet of her. And she is my other high school age doll. She is very athletic, very active, but kind of cunning, kind of ambitious is maybe a good way to put it, but she can be a little defensive too. And she's a little bit like Cassidy in that she's kind of always in everyone's business. She is a bit of a TLC doll. I will probably eventually need to just replace her whole head. There's some discoloration, her eyes are a bit off, there's some eyelashes missing from one of the eyes and the other's missing some paint. Her wig is just kind of a dry mess that will probably need another trim at some point. But honestly, I kind of think it makes her look really cute. I have these washable freckles on her and a beauty mark to kind of cover up some of the markings. And I kind of just love her for it, even though she is a hot mess. And last, but certainly not least, is doll number 13, my historical Philistine Merriman, who I got in late April of 2021. Her name is Circa Mary Blackwood. I basically got her as a deal with myself to just get me through the end of my first year as a college student. I hadn't gotten any other dolls since 2018. That was a long time ago. Since she was such a good deal, I've always wanted her, and you know, she came in her full meat outfit and she's in great condition. I couldn't pass her up, pretty much is what happened. A unique thing about her is that she's the first of my many secondhand dolls to have been owned by someone else who seemed to know what they were doing. Her limbs had already been tightened and she's in fantastic condition. You cannot think that she didn't come from someone who was a collector and a part of this community themselves at one point. And I just think it's fantastic to know that I have a doll that, you know, once belonged to someone else who was one of us. I just wish I knew who that was. So Circa she's impatient, she's very tomboyish, very brave. She's pretty much Felicity's character, but aged up a little bit, if you understand what I mean. Within the crew, she tends to be the troublemaker, the prankster, but she dreams of being an actress and she loves horses. And I am just so glad to have her and all of my other dolls as a part of the crew. So now that you have met the Pink Bubbles crew, it is time for an exclusive sneak peek at our upcoming series titled Sonora. Enjoy!
Sleep, don't be
This is Bex speaking. You're on speakerphone. So speak. Who even is this?
My eyes, I'm with things I've never.
No. No, I am not coming home. I don't care who you are.
Like a row of...
So I forgot to film an outro, but that's okay. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed getting to see my collection and getting to kind of know them and that little sneak peek. And if you did, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and be on the lookout for an official Sonora trailer coming to you very, very soon. I will be back next week with a video, so that's all I have for you guys today. This is Kendra, signing off. Bye!